This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Yeah, I've said this before. I have to say it again. She inspires creativity, and through that creativity, we learn a lot about what's going on in our minds. She's an art therapist. She's actually created something that we're going to take a look at. I have so many questions about what you did. She is our professional of the year. Barbara Robertson is back with us. How is everything in your world today?
It's great, thanks. We got the first snow of the season, which is encouraging because sometimes in Maryland, where I am, we don't get snow at all ever. And
So, wow. So I'm in New York the other day at the end of a major rainstorm, Long Island specifically. We got a little bit of, just a little frosty snow, almost nothing. But you get how much in Maryland? I didn't even hear that.
oh, it's maybe a half inch on the ground, but they were big fat snowflakes that sort of sifted down from the sky. They were light, and so you could kind of just see them just kind of slowly working their way past the air molecules till and they clumped up on the evergreen branches in the most lovely way.
Isn't that the best? Like
It
just
is.
that visual and that fresh feeling of that new snow.
Yes, it is lovely. And it reminds me of play
Hmm.
because when you're a kid, you don't have to worry about driving in the snow or driving on the ice or having to get someplace that, you didn't really want to have to drive through slush and ice. And when you're a kid, you're like, oh, you can't wait to get outside and play in the snow, even if there's just a little bit, if you can make a snowball out of it, it's just fun.
And how about those times when you were a kid or even adult where you have that branch of that pine tree and a ton of snow on it, and all of a sudden, either somebody
Oh,
throws a snowball,
yes,
and you're like, what? And,
right.
and you get like, oh my gosh, for a second, like, just snow. It's just cold. It's okay. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you're Jack London in that one story about the guy who's up in the Arctic somewhere, and this huge snow comes along, and he manages to light a fire under a tree. And it's the most crushing ending because the warmth of the fire melts the snow on the branch above him. And guess
Mm,
what happens?
I don't want to.
Well, I know, but oh man, when you said that, that just brought back
Mm,
that vivid sort of,
yeah. Wow.
horrible.
How
Well,
something so beautiful turns not in a
yes,
short time.
yeah.
Mm.
But that's kind of the opposite of really what I want to talk about. So I want to talk about the play that can happen when it doesn't matter if a bunch of snow falls on your head. It's just that much more fun. You scoop it up and make it into a snowball and pelt somebody or something with it.
Well, you just identify something there in terms of creative inspiration in that snow gets reincarnated into other things. It's snow on a branch. It turns into a snowball. It turns into a snowman or a person. It can be an igloo. It could be whatever. It can be continuously changed into something else.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's like I've begun to really realize that everything is a medium. In other words, a substance or a focus that you can work with creatively. Just about everything.
I'm thinking about that for a second. Like, is there anything that wouldn't be like? I'm even just looking around the studio desk area. I mean, really, when you say there's a can of seltzer on the counter, when you think about it, it's a can of seltzer,
Yeah,
but you could bend this, you could do things with it. If you got the pop top, I could take that off and make that into a chain if I wanted to.
absolutely.
It can
Yeah.
it can take a
And
different shape.
I've seen a lot of creative use of tin cans like that
Yeah.
coming out of Africa, like in craft marts or, seasonal craft exhibits. People who know how to make all kinds of little animals out of the tin from cans like that, just cutting them, shaping them, bending them, fastening them together. I once had a little elephant that was made out of a can with some red on it. that just it was so charming.
Hmm.
And so really, just anything that you could manipulate with your hands, you could create art from.
I want to prove that wrong as I look around, but just in front of me with arm's reach, there everything could be turned into something else or made creative in some regards. It's
That's right.
everything.
You could take every framed picture off that wall and with a hot glue gun build a tower like you were a little kid playing with blocks.
Sure thing. or take the pictures out and do something with them, and et cetera, on and on and on.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could do a collage. And there's just, anyway, I ran across this quote this week that I wanted to share. It's from someone whose name is Prince Ea, EA, and he sort of presented a reel of a little kid in a headset and he's dancing around. And what he wrote was, ever realized children sing before they speak, paint before they write, and dance as soon as they stand. Art is the heart's first language woven into our very soul.
It's true when you think about it.
It really resonated with me. And it kind of gets to this little mess of colors on the wall behind me, because what I chose to do, I have a new studio space for creating art, and I put a big sort of paper tarp up on the wall that's got some plastic on the other side of it, because I do want to do some big paintings against that wall. But before I actually started doing something where I cared about how it turned out, there's always that little part that really is kind of invested in the product, as hard as we try to stay focused on the process. So this was kind of a way of me taking the product out of the equation altogether. And I said, I'm just going to play painting on the drop cloth. It's not going to be anything. I'm never going to stretch it on canvas. I just want to see what happens when I go big.
So many questions here, Barbara.
Jump in.
First of
Jump.
all, you told us about this a couple of weeks ago, and I wish I remembered or took a picture of it so I could go from where it was to what it is. Because a part of me wants to do that, but a part of me is like, well, I don't even know where to begin. And there's something there that you've done where the colors all work together. Was this color that was repurposed? I'm trying to remember if you had, wasn't
That
it?
is that is what I often do. If I have a client who comes in and works with acrylic paint, and there's some that's left on the palette when their session is done, I will often take what is usable from the palette and spread it onto a page. Now, I've got an example of that right here.
Sure.
Coincidentally, let me see if I can get most of this on the screen. So this is going to get lots more layers on it. So
Did you show us that previously? Maybe that's what I was looking at.
I may have. It's got more color on it now because another client came and left more paint.
Ah, okay.
And so I just put what I could scrape off back onto that piece of paper. And this one behind me, I worked into it 2 or 3 times with paint and then also with some oil pastel, making, you might be able to see there's a line or two here
Oh,
that
okay.
shows up.
Hmm.
So
Before we go into, I have to ask. Why did you choose to put it on a canvas? I'm sorry, on a drop cloth, and A, not a canvas, or B, just paint the wall white and make it a huge, beautiful piece of art on the wall.
if it was a place I owned, I might very well do that. But this is a lease that I have for a year.
Okay. Hmm.
So I can't take the wall with me. Although I have read
Uh,
about, and I want to try this, I have read about certain kinds of canvas that you can apply to the wall as if it were wallpaper. Paint on that canvas and then peel it off when you leave the place.
Interesting. But I love what you said here in that you were thinking ahead, wanting to keep it. Now, the walls in this one day, whenever I'm not in this office space, they can do whatever they want. I painted it the colors I wanted it. And that's all good. It's a part of a lease, but you're looking at it as like, yeah, I want that. If I'm going to take the time and put me into it, I want to take it with me. And I can't, take a saw and take the sheetrock with me.
Well, I mean that's a generous way of looking at it. I looked at it more like as a lessee. I don't want to make the landlord mad at me.
Okay.
I
You could
suppose,
always paint it white. You
and
could always,
it's true. That's true. And I could always ask first,
true.
which runs us into another little problem that can sometimes keep us blocked from doing something that would otherwise be very satisfying because we have to ask somebody if it's okay first, and that's hard to do
Mm.
even at this stage.
Because I'm loving what you got up there, and I would see that as a permanent, piece on your wall, and even for when clients come in there to, for them to see that, and
Well,
it's
that has been nice because I have had clients, and where a client sits in my office is opposite from this wall. So they are
mm,
kind of looking at me and this sort of big color patch. It's about maybe 4 or 5 feet square on the wall behind me.
mm.
And I do kind of like it because it is a mess, so to speak. I mean, the color is kind of chaotic, and it really gives the message of we don't have to be perfect.
Wow.
Perfection is fiction anyway. There's no such thing. But yet we have these inner critics who hold perfection up as an achievable goal that we always are failing to meet. And we have to find a way to circumvent or confound that little story that often comes up for so many of us when we're trying to do something that's meaningful, but that we want to share. And so we have this imagined situation of what if we are sharing it and other people don't like it? What does that mean about me or about my creation?
Mm.
It doesn't have to mean anything, but it often does because we want so deeply to connect with other humans.
Were you ever a perfectionist?
I think I still am on some level. I think that might be sort of a permanent fixture in there, but what I'm been creating are end runs around it. So part of it is okay, I'm using leftover paint. I'm not choosing the colors. I'm just playing with them.
Hmm.
I'm not working to make a saleable product right now. I'm just playing. Critics don't get to criticize play because play isn't supposed to be productive in our understanding of what play is, even though it's the most productive thing a child can possibly do. Play is the basis of most of early childhood learning.
It's a great way to look at it because if you approach it as, yeah, just mess around, whatever, as opposed to I'll be busy for another couple of hours. I'm starting a painting and I'll be doing it again tomorrow. I'm working on this acrylic fall scene. Now you're committed to it. Now you've got a direction for it, and now you've got expectation. What was your expectation with that on the wall there? That drop cloth.
No expectation at all, except to enjoy the kind of experience of going really big.
Mm,
As this page that I shared with you is about 18 by 24. That's bigger than I often go when I'm using up, leftover paints. So really going on the wall where I can really sort of put my whole body in it and I'm reaching up, as far as I can reach to get it up the wall as
yep.
high as I want and just kind of moving, really getting my body more fully into the process. And it's really fun.
So walk us through the process because I look at that. A, I'm not really sure where I would begin. B, the melding of the colors is beautiful. There's just something there. And maybe when they mix together, you get this kind of grayish, purpley kind of thing going on there, which gives you contrast to the lighter yellow. Like, how do you decide? Well, I'm going to do this over here. I'm going to do this over here. How do you decide that you don't overdo it as well?
Oh, no, this is definitely overdone,
Well, according to you, see that I don't.
according to my art critic part. This is way overdone. But on the other hand, it's never done. So it can't be overdone if it's never done. It can always be a work in progress because color loves color. So you can never add too much. And acrylics, they can layer over in an opaque way that covers what's underneath them.
Hmm.
Or one of my favorite things to do is to use a big sponge.
Hmm.
Let me grab it. So a big sea sponge.
Gotcha.
There you go. And just, kind of
Ah,
dab it in color and do
got
it.
it. Okay.
And then I can use big brushes. Let me go to big brush. I love this brush, but it's a little scary
Wow. Okay.
because it's so, so big. But at one point, I know I'm going to get courageous enough to use it because this is still play. I'm going to dip it in some big color and then just, kind of let this broad path go through this and see what happens. But that's kind of the whole point is doing something to see what happens and then to see how I feel about what happens.
Hmm. That's a key point right there.
That's a key point right there because
Hmm.
the heart of me knows if this is in harmony with that kind of tuning fork that I imagine is inside all of us that vibrates at our particular, whatever you call a vibrations level. Um,
Now, do you mean an energetic vibration?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, an
Hmm.
energetic vibration. Because I think we all have this particular tone or vibration of energy that encapsulates us, the essence of us.
I totally agree. And that vibration is ever changing and can go from low to high in a second.
Yes,
And as I understand it, the lowest vibration is shame,
I would believe that for sure.
not sadness, but shame
Shame.
and or guilt. And then the highest vibration, I always thought was happy, but many say it's joy. That's just above happy.
Just above happy. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I do think that shame is at the bottom, is the lowest one, because shame tells us that we're not worthy to exist in human company. And that is
Ooh,
that's a death sentence.
that one hurts.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. But that's why shame is so hard to shake and so hard to even acknowledge that we're feeling it. Yeah.
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 Well, we can process that one at some point. Um,
Yeah.
because we don't want to even accept that if we're feeling shame and or guilt. Um,
Well, guilt
yeah.
can be repaired. Well, and I guess there is such a thing as constructive shame that helps us to stay in behaviors that don't alienate everyone around us, that help us to understand that what we do can have a negative impact on someone else. And so, since we all really do want to stay connected, we can adjust how we act toward other
Mm.
people without actually losing our truth.
Do you really? Are you aware of the energetic vibrations around you or the ones you're feeling?
Um, Not in a conscious way, but I am guided by them. I
Hmm.
steer by them.
I am too. And I'll tell you, even today, I had a meeting last night. I'm in a men's group I shared with you, and we support each other, but we do community service, leadership. And we had an exercise last night that got a little deep in terms of feelings and things like that. All good.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and I had a phone call before that with somebody that was going through some challenges. And even after the phone call, I was like, ooh, whoa. Like the energy was very deep. And honestly, I think I got enough sleep. Today I'm feeling it a little heavier. It was a full moon last night, and they say it lasts for 5 days after, but I feel a heavy energy in the air. And I think it's from that. I really do, because I think I've got enough sleep. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it really could well be. It could well be, and especially when we're feeling compassion for someone who's struggling.
It was a family member too, by the way. So that's, yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So, we're carrying a wish and a sense that we could act in some way on their behalf, not to do something that they would really be responsible for doing, but just to be present and offer support in some way that they can find constructive.
Yes, yes. And what, you want them to take your direction because it comes from a loving place, or you just want to fix it, make them feel better, but you
That's
can't.
that's the challenging part is
But you
kind
can't.
of remembering, right, not to fix it, but just to say that, to just confirm, yes, you are in a tough spot.
You're being heard.
Yes, I see you, I hear you, I feel what you're feeling.
Yeah. And I
And
didn't, I didn't mean,
I'm
I
not
meant that
running away. Right.
figuratively fix it. Like if you could just snap your
Oh,
finger.
yeah.
Yeah. It's, that you
Yes.
can't, but you wish
Yeah.
if you could, you would.
Yes.
But there
Yeah.
inherently lies that, maybe heavier energy. But then I've witnessed the other side of it where I've intentionally thought to myself, walking in someplace, a lot of times in gym, and I'll say, as I'm walking in, raise the vibration up, raise it up, raise it up, bring it up, bring it up. And I walk in, and there's like a straightaway where you kind of walk to get to different spots. I'll pass the same people. I see them every day, don't even know their names. It just, everybody just walks by. That's it. And when I'm
Yeah.
thinking high vibration, and it's not like I have a cheesy grin on, I'm just thinking it. People
Yeah.
look up and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? How's it going? Hey, good morning. How are you?" Like,
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean by not consciously feeling it, but responding to it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're built to respond to it that way.
But people were also built to pick up on things, so those people apparently are picking up on the vibration I'm throwing out there.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So
Yeah,
they're responding to you when
exactly.
they're feeling your vibe and they're going, oh yeah, let me look up. Yeah. Oh, hi.
But
Yeah.
guess what? There's vibration, energetic vibration in that piece of art behind you that you put into that, and I'm feeling it, and it feels good. Like I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I like that. I don't know what it is I like about it, because some of the colors are, a little muted.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm feeling I want to do that. I want to, I want that coming out of my hands that, I put my imprint into it because it feels good.
Yeah. 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 I have one client who's, I don't know, 11 or 12, and she got so much joy out of doing handprints. She would
Mm.
paint acrylic paint all over her hand and then smack it on the paper, maybe another two times, then the other hand and all directions and layers of handprints until she had built up color in this same kind of similar playful way. And
Talk
she,
about individuality and putting your imprint, like literally your energetic and
yeah,
physical imprint
that's
into
right.
something. I just
That's
looked up. We're out of time. I don't know how that even happens.
fun. I know that happens so fast. But
I know.
let me just wrap up with a little
Sure.
quip that I really am more and more believing that the artwork that we produce, or whatever the creative product is that we produce, is embodied energy.
One
So
billion percent.
the vibe in us that comes out and takes shape in some way.
It's what's in you is now transferred energetically to that canvas. And
Exactly. And then it can convey energy to you. You can convey your energy to it and get a different reflection back than I might get. But it's this sort of energy composite that can just keep on vibing.
I even believe that when you look at a photograph of somebody, there's an energetic, I call it energy DNA that comes off of that.
Yes. Yeah.
There's something there.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Well, we're even more on the same page. This is what you do. You inspire people to be creative and actually feel through art.
I really, that's what I want for everyone, is to feel free enough to do that. because there's just like a gold nugget in that experience that I would just like everyone to have, their own little nugget that they know is there.
The best way to find you, Robertson Art Therapy LLC.com. Is that right?
Right? Yep. Yep. Or brobertson.atr@gmail.com.
Always great talking with you. I love your energy, and I mean that.
Thank
It's very
you so
positive.
much. Thanks.
We'll catch
All
up
right.
soon.
Yeah, take care.
You
Bye.
too.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.